Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Now, people in social clubs that wear suits that try to look better than everyone else because of their worldly style change my voice, add funny noises to it. People harass me in person, etc. So I know there's more to this shooting in Texas than meets the eye. I know for sure. I live in California. I live in one of the main psychological operations centers in America. And I'm the top martial artist in human history with a fair scale, with a fair, logical, honest, honorable, honest, righteous, just scale of outdoor sparring and character. You look at the picture on the screen, I think that you'll understand why it's easy for me to say that without wondering, hey, maybe I should kind of lead up to this or something because people aren't going to believe me. Well, they are going to believe me. They're going to believe me for many reasons. One of them, as much as people want to hear it, is because I'm black. And I'm not Aborigine. Shout out to the Aborigines. I'm not Haitian or Ethiopian or Somalian. Shout out to them. I am Nigerian. Okay? And people have to kind of sink to the level of making Nigerians like the most famous computer scammers out there because they're jealous. Okay, of all the countries in the world, what's the odds that they would zoom in on these guys saying, they're going to scam you, they're going to scam you, watch out for this guy on the internet? Because it's hard for a Nigerian who's intense. I'm not that big. I'm 6'4" and about 195 pounds. You know, not even kind of as big of a body as Michael Jordan had when he was younger. Okay, but I'm intense naturally, and they fuel me and poison me to reduce it. So they made it so it was harder for me to say to you in person, hey, I'm a strange black guy you don't know, and I have a very important message from you. I'm the top martial artist. I should say he's trying to scam me like a street gang member or like a Nigerian a scammer. Okay, I'm not a scammer. In fact, I'm the furthest thing from a Nigerian scammer in human history. My father won a humanitarian award, for goodness sake. He's a brain surgeon. He married a white doctor who's a general surgeon who's also a National Merit Scholar. I have a $10 million challenge that I've had since December 20th, 2013. It's a legal and fair and righteous and peaceful challenge because it's outdoor sparring. It's light contact. It doesn't hurt very much, but it shows you mind, body, soul, and spirit. You have to have a certain spirit, a certain mentality, a certain way of thinking, a certain cause, a certain sense of priorities, a certain sense of things, a certain insight, certain penetrating intelligence to be the top at outdoor sparring there ever was. To be some kind of privileged ninny or some privileged token minority and to outmaneuver the poor is like a Nazi super soldier beating up a starved concentration camp victim. That is fucking disgraceful. And I ban those people from any position in martial arts, okay, that has any seriousness attached to it. And some of you say you can't do that. I can't. First of all, because no one takes any of your martial arts seriously. So you might say, what does this have to do with the Texas mass shooting? Well, martial arts are war arts. But first and foremost, they're hand-to-hand combat arts with spiritual systems. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. It's sparring, hand-to-hand combat with weapons and character and spirit and God if you're monotheistic. And since I'm monotheistic, monotheistic martial arts have transcended all the rest, but not anybody who says that they're monotheistic, because if you misrepresent God, you're worse than someone who has a Buddhist system or an atheist system who's not monotheistic. Because you claim to be someone like me, and you're not. You're cheating me out of my right to lead. We see with Master Hilo Cho's book, again, I don't do Taekwondo and so on and so forth. I'm not one of his students or followers, but he said something that's kind of universal. One of his books, The Master Kick, I believe it's called. He said, first you have to try to understand yourself. Then you have to master yourself. Then you have to try to understand others. He also said, you have to have a willingness to respect and accept those who are better than you are. If you can't do that, you're not a martial artist. Now, what does it mean if I'm the top martial artist ever, which I am, and ever possible because of tech breeding and ill-gotten gains disqualifies everyone else in the future? It means you have to obey me. Because what exactly is my position? Am I just somebody who just does techniques? No. Am I some politician? No. Some church propagandist? No. Am I some racial supremacist? No, I'm a moral supremacist. So I tell you what you should do because it's right. When you reject that, you reject the correction from the source of righteousness through me, which means you reject martial arts training, which means you're not a martial artist because martial arts are lifestyles. They're not individual systems. Those individual systems are just clowns that are trying to master techniques and beat people up. That's not character. If it doesn't have character, if it isn't your life, then it's not martial arts. And it takes a low dog to cheat me out of my right to lead for mere national conceptions, mere religious conceptions. Who are these religions? What fruit do they bear? Christ said you know them by their fruit. So when this guy said, you know what, I'm just going to shoot up this mall and act like a fucking idiot, it's because he didn't give me my right to lead. And we look at the evolutionary scale. Now, I don't care if you're tall or short. And my grandfather on my dad's side was a shorter gentleman, maybe 5'9" or so. My dad's 6'4". I'm about 6'4". But it's that kind of evolutionary gene that caused him, when he married the daughter of the king, my grandfather, for my dad to be spring up to be coordinated to a certain degree with a certain intensity. Then when my dad married my mom, who's a good woman, she's probably the most righteous woman, white woman that ever lived. Okay? They came together. Boom! Coordination like never seen before. Why? Because of brain function. Generational righteousness and brain function. Something you people don't have. And you led that mass shooter astray. Society should be imprisoned with that mass shooter. In fact, they will. When they die, their souls will go to hell. Why? Because one who's slacking his work is brother to one who destroys. Proverbs 18:9. This is why it says in Proverbs 16:16, how much better to get wisdom than gold, insight than silver, because what good is money to you? The parable of the rich fool. You could die anytime. You're not guaranteed to grow old and die. You might die right now. Then what? There's a rich fool who didn't invest in wisdom, insight, righteousness, and justice. You know nothing about timing. You know nothing about prioritization. You don't have a good sense of things. And you people and your social orders led that person astray with your psychologies, with your technologies, with your psychological operations, with your stupid political movements, and voila, the 200th mass shooting. I'm fucking surprised, folks, that when Dumb and Dumber and their social orders lead people, that all kinds of shit happens. I'm fucking shocked. No, I'm not. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. And obviously, I am the top martial artist ever. When you put $10 million where your mouth is, you get in their fucking face with $10 million and say, look, pal, yes, I can outmaneuver you and chop off your fucking head better than David chopped off Goliath's head. Now sit down, shut the fuck up, or obey. And they sit down and shut up because they have no viable counter-argument, then you're the top. I'm the top. Thank you. So in a nutshell, why did this shooting happen? Because there's a bunch of racist, whites, Jews, LGBT people, and token minority allies of theirs that are like, we don't want you to say it that way. We don't want you to say it that way. Why, they're misleading people, and people are suffering. 9 million people starve to death every year and die of hunger-related issues. 3 million of them are children. That means 10,000 children a day. 1 in 4 females in America is raped or sexually assaulted before the age of 18. I can go on and on and on. Exploitation, poisoning, wastes of life. The adversary of Set in Egyptian mythology was, the adversary's Horus in Egyptian mythology was Set. And waste is a play on words for waste set. And whites is a play on words for wise set. Now, it's not that white people, because of their flesh, are evil. Is if you accept an evil culture of neocolonialism and a cultural response to it like rock and roll, or any cultures that they propound instead of moral precision, then you're going to be fucking evil. I mean, some kind of evil settler or something, who sets the stage, who sets a trap, who sets up the righteous. You see what I'm saying?